Testimonial of my connection with Willa, part 4. In the third part, I talked about dreams in which I thought that I was connecting with Shayla, but eventually I found that it was Willa. And it was during summer 2016, and also during this time I was opening to my connection with her on a conscious level. So this part will be about those events. At the time I was working on having more lucid dreams in order to meet Shayla face to face, and it was not working that well because I either ran away or it pulled me out of the sleeping state when I called her. I felt her energy. So I was thinking that maybe if I would call someone who is not so much important for me or deeply connected, that I could work with that entity first, and that could help me to meet her afterwards. And one friend at the time shared with me also that she had a dream with Willa, lucid dream. And so I got very excited and was thinking that, yeah, maybe I could try her, calling her. And after this, I actually think that I started to have those dreams with her and proceeding in this way of making me understand what she wanted me to understand. First thing that I remember from the change of these events or experiences that I had was this physical experience. And around that time, I was doing this much more often than I do it now. And it was that I lay down on my bed, usually on my belly, and naked, so Shayla could work with me. And at the time, I was always thinking that it was just Shayla. And so this time I was asked to actually turn on my back, and then I started to feel sensation in my intimate parts, but not on a usual place where I always feel it, but a little bit somewhere else, but it was still in my intimate area. And then very sensual and sexual energy entered me, and it went up through this like a electric line in a way until my third chakra, but not further. And it was not supposed to. I thought that my heart was open and this line of the connection between chakras, but it didn't went because it was supposed to be just the energy that Willa placed there. I later realized that it was Willa, and when you finish listening this, you will also see what it was or how she was playing with me or orchestrating this. I don't know how to call it. Whatever she was trying to do with me. I think it was after actually this that she did with me when I started to feel some specific energy from one of her pictures from the other artist that I already mentioned. And those pictures were already more than a year old, so she was planning this. Well, she doesn't experience the time in the same way as we do, but still in my linear time it was more than a year ago. And so she plays something special there, and it was meant to work with that energy that she placed in a previous experience into my body. Then I had this funny thing that maybe is not so important in the story, but I would like to tell it because I was feeling this urge to share something from my first channelings, and it was specifically about sexual fetish. And it was like a beautiful answer. It was nothing like a stranger or whatever. And so I feel that I was guided. And then I was searching for a picture on Google that I could use to post this answer that I channeled about it. And I found this picture that you see right now. And I immediately started to, I'm like, what is this? Because it was like a meme of my, experiences that I was experiencing with the Shayla. And I was thinking like, yeah, but the red color in her hair is kind of like redundant. But eventually it was like 3 months later, I got this. And then when I checked the dates also, this was actually exactly week before I got the download from Willa, when she also asked me to connect with her through one of her pictures from this other artist, and she put me into a meditative state for the first time this way, like I was experiencing with Shayla. And then I woke up with a download from her that she's also interested in me in this romantic way, and also was strongly excited about telling me not to hold myself back and to numb myself so I can activate my fuller potential. And after that, we could share so much like energies and so on, that she was very excited about it, like the potentials that we can share together. The following day, I spent a whole day with connecting with her in a specific way, in that's like when I opened to her in that intimate romantic way. Something happened in our connection that also happened to me when I was connecting with Shayla, and it was like we were embracing each other and we were in an embrace, and I felt our second chakras became one and our lower part of bodies. And also during this like many hours as I was meditating and just floating in this energy, I was feeling also my third chakra that next day again gave me some strong experience with the Shayla, but I will talk about this in stories about Shayla, so I will not go into this, so this is not too long. And in a few days, I also connected with the Willa again, and I was feeling she was really asking me or really wishing for me to connect with her in those ways like I was connecting with the Shayla. So what I do and what I was doing is that I use my imagination as a tool, so I can project my energy and physical energy and connect it with their physical energy. So I'm really working with the energies, and the imagination helps me. So I started to caress her face with my energetic hands, and this took quite a few minutes, and it was very relaxing. I was feeling shifts in my energy field, in my mind, and so on, and it linked me with her. Then I wanted to go more down on her, but then I experienced some blockage, feeling the resistance that I couldn't go down from her face. So first thing that came to my mind was like if she doesn't want it. But it didn't make sense. So I focused that it's my blockage, and in a few minutes it appeared that I was actually feeling that I was cheating on Shayla. But this was not very logical for me, so I was able to shift this belief very quickly in like 1 or 2 minutes. And after that, I felt that I could go down on her with my energetic hands and palms, and I touched her breasts and kind of like dive even deeper into her chest and through her breasts with my physical energy, with my hands that were activated also with my heart chakra, with the energy of my heart chakra. And that was so strong for her that her heart chakra immediately exploded. It was such a big explosion that I never felt before. And in the next second, that energy from her heart just dropped into her second chakra, and there was another big explosion there. And I could feel this because when I am connected with her this way, it's also happening in my body. So after this, she got really hyper, like immediately in the experience, and I was feeling her like all over my energetic field. She was just shifting like from one side to other, and being very excited, hugging me, caressing, kissing, and this kind of stuff I was perceiving. The next thing that happened was that she wanted for a few weeks already I would draw her, but it was not flowing that well for me because I was trying to do it in a color, but at the time it was not so flowing for me and more intense, or I was not used to it. So one time she asked for me to finally do it and just pencil, don't do colors, and I will get there. But this started like it was something that happened like in a 3 days in a row. So first day was that it was in the evening. I was asked to smoke a weed, and I was looking at their pictures, like both of them at the same time, and I was feeling so much love towards them and from them. It was like the same love from both of them towards me and from me to them. But I was also recognizing that they were two different beings. Next morning, I woke up with the melody in my mind and I was able to search for the song, and it's called Be My Lover. So at first I was like, it doesn't make sense why Shayla would ask me this, but like we were doing this like for months already, so it didn't make sense. And I realized this like, I don't know, maybe some weeks or even months again later, and also like the content of this song made more sense to me afterwards. So I will talk about it more later, but right now, like the song was also about like asking, like, are you sure you want to be my lover? You have to be sure before we will go into this and so on. And I was like, yeah, why not? You know, she's just another girlfriend. I didn't feel anything like dangerous about it. So then this day I was also asked to draw this picture of her, and I was feeling it really strongly that she wanted me like just draw it and so on, and it was such a beautiful experience. I was drawing it very quickly, so I was not paying attention that much to what I was drawing and the details and to be correct, because for me it was my personal experience with her. And the energy I felt, it was so amazing, really. I cannot describe it with words. It was so overwhelming that I felt like, like a young girl's, like a first love, so fresh and so exciting. And there was also this innocent desire to share also some more intimacy with each other. It was not so sexual, but it was so beautiful at the same time and intimate. And it opened my heart like really strongly. Next day, I was asked to smoke a weed again, or I was feeling it, this flow of the energy, like, yeah, I have to do it. And so this was more in the morning, not in the evening, and I had again this experience. So I was supposed to have a weed because it helps me to relax my energetic field more and work with my energy and with energies in a general way. And this was the point when these three things or so connected. So there was this energy she placed into my intimate part a few weeks ago. Then this picture she asked me to draw, and the picture that I was sensing something new, some energy that I didn't feel before from the other artist. Now I'm realizing, yeah, 3, it's a number that hybrids like. So I was feeling from her when I had the wit to look at the picture that I drew, and it's opened my heart again even stronger than before. So widely that's, it's hard to explain, like feeling it's bigger than my chest. Then I felt that she wanted me to look at that other picture from the other artist, and it's reacted with that energy in my intimate part and opened it in the exact same way that I felt it when she placed it there. And it was such a big wave, like tsunami, but very slow, opening me so widely, my third chakra, and going up into my heart. And there started this flow of the energy between me and her, very sensual and like sharing our essence with each other and flowing. At the time I had issues with the connecting with Shayla this way, or opening up, so I wanted to use this opening also with her. So I laid down again on a bed, on my belly, and she was immediately on me and looped her energy so easily into me. So I had both of them at the same time. And then I started to feel pressure in my tailbone, and I knew, well, I had this experience already before, and it's really intense. It can be intense if it's first time. And so I was, when I had the weed, I was able to work through this fear and relax through that fear of that energy when the whole spine can light up, and it really lit up after that. And as I had this flow going through my chakras and through her, on my back. It also crossed with that spine when it was lit up, and it triggered some blockage that I had in my back, and I had such a strong pain in my back for several weeks, but I will talk about this more again in a following part. So after this experience, I was so much in love with them. Really, it was so beautiful feeling and state I was in. And that day, even in the evening, I was still feeling it, and that I would just be rolling in the bed with them, and just hugging or kissing. And that triggered the last dream that I shared in the third part. So if you didn't listen to it, you can listen to that part also, how it connects. So they were kissing in front of me and inviting me to connect with them, not to be shy. And after this dream, I realized that it was Willa in my dreams. So, as I mentioned last time, it was very shocking for me to realize that she put so much effort during all that summer to have those dream experiences with me and helping me to open up or whatever. And so I asked her why, and I got the download, but I will talk about this in another part because it's opening up another segment of the event. So I will separate this here and I will talk about it later. So if you are interested, of course, you can listen to it. But this is also a great journey for me, just to go into those energies and then also listen to myself. It's amazing to remember it. So thank you for listening and being interested, and stay tuned for our next part.